There are several definitions of anthropology, but it can be defined as a science devoted to the study of ancient and modern human beings and their lifestyles. According to Harris, given the range and complexity of the subject, the different branches of anthropology focus on different aspects of dimensions of human experiences. These branches of anthropology are physical anthropology, which studies the physical characteristics of humans throughout fossils; archaeology, which is devoted to the study of material remains of past cultures; anthropological linguistics, which studies the diversity of languages spoken by the existing human groups; and lastly, cultural anthropology, also known as social anthropology. It refers to the analysis and description of cultures both from the past and from human groups today. Anthropologists began studying small groups living in remote locations, and now anthropologists can include in their studies both the inhabitants of a remote village in the Brazilian Amazon and the migrants of Chinatown in downtown Mexico City. There are techniques to study such small populations, and they are known as ethnographic techniques. These encyclopedias of the exotic or monographs of specific groups laid the foundations of ethnography, understood as a research strategy to study societies from greater cultural uniformity and less social differentiation than those prevailing in modern, large, and industrialized nations. The monograph as a product. A monograph is a document whose production is a basic step at the beginning of the study of any group in particular. Its purpose is to gather as much information as possible about the specific topic that was chosen. The steps to follow in making a monograph. Number 1. Selection of topic. Number 2. Development of a tentative structure. 3. Search and recollection of information. 4. Debug of information according to tentative structure. 5. Reorganization of the structure. 6. Development of partial or total draft. 7. Revision of draft. Qualitative research is a methodology that seeks to present elements that drive us to give answers and explanations about the events and happenings surrounding mankind. It is possible to use several techniques and methods. Among the methods, ways to approach the objective of the study are included the ethnography, the study of case, oral history, the participants' action, research, and the qualitative evaluation. And as for the techniques, which are the ways to gather information, we have history of life, testimony, semi-structured interview, focus groups, participant observation, the field diary, the written documents, photography, and videotapings. The differences between quantitative and qualitative research are: qualitative research seeks the deep knowledge of human behavior. It is based on observation of determined groups of people and considers historical perspective, while the quantitative research prioritizes the value of science, seeks verifiable answers, and seeks the establishment of universal laws. The ethnographic research allows a deep, constant reflection about the perceived reality, as well as proposing a hypothesis in a constant redefinition, having as objective the reconstruction and interpretation of such reality. We can identify 7 steps in ethnographic research. Number 1. Marking the field. It implies the selection of a community. 2. Subject field. A topic of interest to the researcher and the context in which it will be studied. 3. Preparation and documentation. 4. Design. You do this after the information is reviewed. 5. Fieldwork. It is crucial during the ethnographic research. 6. gathering of information. And lastly, the conclusion. Once you've gathered enough information, the researcher goes back with notes, field diaries, and images, and you start doing the final report or conclusion. Among the field techniques most used in ethnography, we can see 9. Direct observation, participant observation, conversation, life stories, key informants, genealogical method, investigation oriented to several types of problems, longitudinal, and team investigation. The last things in this topic are emic and ethic methods. During the ethnographic labor, the primary interest is discovering the local views, beliefs, and perspectives. This characterizes a strategy called emic. In contrast to the previous strategy, the ethic approach emphasizes explanations and categories of the observer or ethnographer. It is an approach oriented to the interpretation of cultures, seen from the outside, from the point of view of the observer. Lastly, we learn about the regions in which Mexico is divided: the Central Region, Northeastern Region, West Region, Northwestern Region, and Southeastern Region. The social problem I decided to talk about was bullying, because I believe it's one of the most important problems that our society faces. This has always existed, but it was not until recently that it was given a name and our society finally accepted as a problem. Bullying is unwanted aggressive behavior among school-age children that involves a real or perceived power imbalance. The behavior is repeated or has the potential to be repeated over time. Bullying includes actions such as making threats, spreading rumors, attacking someone physically or verbally, and excluding someone from a group on purpose. Bullying can affect everyone: those who are bullied, those who bully, and those who witness the bullying. Bullying is linked to many negative outcomes, including impacts on mental health, substance use, and suicide. This is a problem to our society, but especially to the kids who are suffering. These kids can experience negative physical, school, and mental health issues. Kids who are bullied are more likely to experience depression and anxiety, increased feelings of sadness and loneliness, changes in sleep and eating patterns, and loss of interest in activities they used to enjoy. These issues may persist into adulthood. Also, health complaints and decreased academic achievements, and they are most likely to miss, skip, or drop out of school. I believe we can help eradicate this damaging behavior, but everyone needs their help. When you see someone punching or yelling something offensive at someone else, instead of recording it and encouraging it, call out the bully and tell a teacher. Don't tolerate this abusive behavior.